Okay. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Monday night. My name is Harlequin Murray, and I'm your co-host this evening, as always. But for those of you who are new here, welcome. We are happy that you're here with us, and we're excited that you've joined us tonight. I have the honor and privilege of introducing my sponsor and one of my best friends, Winn, who is the leader of our team. She has been a friend of mine for like 18 years now, something like that. But for those of you who are new today, just a little bit about Ellen's background so you know where she's coming from. She grew up in Dallas, Georgia, which is a town just outside of Atlanta, on her family's farm. And she actually lives on that property today, which she's super excited to be doing that. But she likes having the wide open spaces near her. But anyways, she was in the restaurant industry for many years and ended up with Domino's Pizza doing training for them and was a regional director and has a lot of experience in that arena. But she ended up deciding that she had had enough of the corporate life, just like myself, and she branched out on her own and started up her own pizza restaurant. She actually had 2 locations. So she has been a business owner and knows what that entails and all the trials and tribulations and all the fun parts as well as the good and bad. So after she did that, she was introduced to network marketing and has been in that industry for 20 years now, I think. But whenever I met her, she was actually the national training director for a network marketing company. So she was in charge of training for the entire corporation and did a phenomenal job with that. She also ran a training center here in the Atlanta area as well. But she has been with DAC now for 5 years. So she got in a year before I did. And she is a area director in the DAC comp plan. So she's the first person in the field outside of David and Wade who has attained that level. So we're super proud of her. But without further ado, Ellen, I'm going to have you go ahead and take it away. If you're still with us. Okay, I know she was expecting somebody to come in, so she's probably answering the door. But anyways,
I'm back.
You're back. Okay.
I went and put a note on the door, so we'll see if that works.
Okay. Awesome.
There's a meeting going on, so we'll see. I may have to jump out of here. Thank you, Harlequin. Yeah, I love it, and happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I put a note on the back door so that Pam will remember that there's a meeting in process right now with our team Zoom. So we're good to go. All right.
Okay.
Let me get us kicked off. Yes, happy birthday, happy birthday. I'm glad that you got to go out and meet some friends earlier today. I love being able to share the Facebook post that I did back to where we were celebrating my birthday together a few years ago. And the most fun ever was the day that we got to go do the Porsche adventure and get to drive every single Porsche that they had available. Harlequin invited me to a special event that was hosted by Porsche where they had all their cars and they had figure 8 tracks set up for us, and we got to drive the cars at full speed with a driver in the passenger seat with us, and they were just telling us when to accelerate and all that. So we had the full Porsche experience, and it was great. And I appreciate you so much for taking me that day. It was definitely a blast.
Yeah.
Well, let me get us kicked off.
Okay, before we do that,
Yeah.
Jimmy Todd just said that it was his birthday on Wednesday last week. So happy birthday, Jimmy.
Absolutely. Happy
Flag Day.
birthday. Yeah, and I won't go into a lot because David did a great job covering it today, but happy Juneteenth, our federal holiday today. Glad that you're taking time out of your holiday weekend to be here with us on Team Zoom, whether you're watching Team Winn Zoom, whether you're watching it live and participating, or whether you're watching a replay. But let's get us into screen share mode. I'm going to go through some slides, some recognition, and a couple of topics, and then we'll get into question and answer. So if anything's covered while we're going through, if you have a question about it, hold your questions to the end. You'll be able to raise your hand and ask questions, and we will get those addressed. Okay, so let me get us into screen share, and should see "We Fuel the American Dream" on the screen. Are you seeing that, Harlequin? Looking good. Okay, awesome. All right, guys. I start out now with "We Fuel the American Dream" as DAC business owners, fueling the dream for business, small business owners, right? Or as our agency owners here with DAC, by sharing our opportunity with other agents so that they can get involved in this movement going across the country, where we're helping business owners get funding that they can't get from their local bank, helping them save money with credit card processing, helping them get refunds back from the IRS with employee retention credit. And soon, very soon, we're going to be launching our new healthcare program, where we'll be able to take that not only to individuals like you and I, be able to buy healthcare through DAC and save money over what we would be paying through traditional insurance. Also be able to take that to employer groups and be able to offer that program there. We have our other consumer services coming on board very quickly, but I'm super excited about the healthcare, and that goes hand in hand for me with our Relevate program, which is the way that we all get paid. That pay card that you have to sign up with, we're promoting that product, and it's a great value to a business owner with their recruiting and retention. So those are just a few of the things that we offer as DAC agents in the field. But DAC's philosophy, our expansion philosophy, we are the marketing arm of the company. You and I are, all of us independent agents. And DAC's philosophy for expansion is to offer a world-class opportunity with a performance-based compensation plan. And then they provide us with an incentive to attract other agency entrepreneurs. And when we bring those other entrepreneurs on board, we can earn significantly. But most importantly, you can earn significant income through your own production, through bringing your own personal clients to the table, where you're going to get paid bonuses on the majority of our services, and then you can also earn residuals. But if you decide that you want to build an agency, you can earn significant income on what your team does. So I'm going to cover 3 real quick ways that you earn if you decide that you want to be a team builder. Or when I say a team, it could be you and 1 or 2 other people, or it could be you and tens of thousands of people, like I have built to at this point, right? So you earn enroller bonuses, okay? When you personally introduce someone into the business, whatever they make, you can earn from 10 to 50% income match on their earnings. Doesn't take anything away from them. You earn that on top of on top of what they've already made, and that's just part of our compensation plan. You can also earn leadership bonus override. So looking at this picture of the United States, the big desk, those are the people that you personally introduced to DAC, and then they take on that same model and decide that they want to expand and grow. So they start telling other people about the business opportunity. They start growing their own business, and as that organization starts to grow, you can earn again from 10 to 50% of your extended agency network. And then we have our residual compensation plan, where you can earn on 7 compressed levels in your team. And for those of you that don't know what compression is, that means that there will be people somewhere deep in your organization that aren't paying attention, that aren't qualified, that aren't getting customers. And when that residual gets paid out, it's just going to skip over them and compress the next qualified level up to you to count as 7 levels in the organization. You can earn up to 30% income match on that extended agency network on the residual, plus the bump up in the commission plan as well. But team building is what's going to create long-term income with you, where if you're not doing team building, you're either going to have to go get new clients all the time, or you're going to have to bring on a significant number of clients that pay you residually. But the best residual income is to do a combination of both, getting your own clients, getting your own residual clients, and then building a team that is going out and building an income for themselves. And then you can earn an income match of 10 to 50% on what they earn. Okay. So in this example, if you add up all of those independent agency incomes, this example shows $574,000 in team earnings. And taking that income match of 10 to 50%, that would equate to you, if this were your team and you were qualified, and if you were eligible, and this is only for demonstrations, this is not an income claim, but if you were qualified in the compensation plan, the way it pays, 10% on the low end would be $57,400 in overrides that you could earn, up to $287,000 in overrides on what you created there on this team that cumulatively earned $574,000. Gotta love this compensation plan. I'm telling you, David Rutz is brilliant in the way that he has put this together, and it will pay you beyond your wildest dreams. So talking about building teams and the distribution model that we have, where we are the marketing arm, that's why it's important that we have people in the organization that decide that they want to build a team and help get the word out about our services. So for the week of 6/12 through 6/18, our top recruiters, in first place, we had DeAnthony Thomas with 3 new agent recruits. Congratulations, DeAnthony. In second place, we had a 4-way tie with Anthony Brown, Ben Randalls, Nick Cranstown, and Ronnie McKellar, each with 2 new agent recruits. So congratulations to you that had 2 or more new agent recruits. You had to have 2 to be named on the leaderboard, but all in all, we had 20 agents that had 1 or more recruits for the week, with a total of 26 new agents. Numbers are down a little bit from the previous week, but that's expected as we rolled into a 3-day weekend for those of you that have government jobs or in the banking industry or any of those industries that celebrated today as a federal holiday and shut down business. There are a lot of independent businesses and businesses that aren't tied to that federal regulation that were business as usual today. I know, having been a small business owner, as Harlequin expressed there at my intro, I couldn't afford to take those federal holidays and shut down. I needed to be open when everybody else was closed, and really used it to our advantage a lot of times to spur our sales when people were looking for places to eat, back when I was a pizza restaurateur. So good stuff going on. The next thing I want to cover real quick is our leveling up. We had someone who has leveled up in the comp plan. I want to go through that and give recognition where recognition is due. And this is leveling up in the bonus plan, moving through the DAC 1, DAC 2, and DAC 4. These are the levels that you can move through on your own. There is no team involvement needed whatsoever. This is where you achieve this by having personal clients, new qualifying bonus clients, and you move through the ranks. And as you move through the ranks, it positions you to earn on your team. So let's take a quick look at that team override. When you get to DAC 1, to get there, you need 1 qualifying bonus client at least, okay, in this DAC 1 column, and that bonus revenue needs to be at least 1,000, or if you're looking at the funded amount, 10,000 or more in funded value, right? Which is how we used to look at it, but now it is qualifying revenue, and it has to be at least 1,000 qualifying revenue, which is 10% of the funded amount typically. When you get to DAC 1, that positions you for a 10% income match on what your team does. So if you're DAC 1 and you have someone in your team that makes $500, then 10% match on that is a $50 commission to you, right? The next level in the comp plan, DAC 2, you have to have at least 2 qualifying bonus clients and a total of 2,000 in bonus revenue, okay, or 20,000 in fundings, right? Once you get to DAC 2, that qualifies you to earn a 15% match on your team. So let's say you have a team that generates $10,000 in commissions, and you're at a 15% override. That means you would make $1,500 as a 15% match on 10,000 that was earned by your team. So moving up the ranks here with the bonuses is really something to be excited about. So tonight I would like to congratulate Walter Grain. Walter got himself promoted to DAC 1 by helping a client receive over $34,000 back in the ERC tax refund credit. Okay, now who won the biggest in that? Walter got a nice commission. He got himself bumped up to a rank and had a client that got $34,000 back. So the client was the one that won the biggest, right? Because they got $34,000 that they'd already paid in, and this was money due back from the government. They probably didn't even know about it until Walter introduced them to the ERC program. So congratulations, Walter, for hitting DAC 1. But not only did he go to DAC 1, because this was his second client, he had a qualifying bonus client that was 7,000 or 700 in the qualifying revenue back several months ago, but that didn't quite take him to DAC 1, right? But that was one of the 2 qualifying clients that were needed. Now, getting this ERC client was the second client and putting them over the $2,000. So congratulations, Walter, for going DAC 1 and DAC 2 simultaneously with this new ERC client. Next step, you're well on your way qualification wise. You're actually over qualification wise, volume wise to hit DAC 4. You just need 2 more qualifying bonus clients to get there. So congratulations. Do you see Walter on here tonight, Harlequin? If he is, then he can certainly share a story with that. If not, we'll move on. I told him I was going to recognize him, but I didn't make a point to say, hey, be on the team Zoom.
I don't see his name. We do have someone that's just logged in as Zoom, so.
That's okay. If you're out there, Walter, you can certainly raise your hand and we will let you speak if you want to share a testimonial. But what I want to go into real quick on the slides before we go to question and answer is something that David talked about today. And it was discussed also by Wade Cordell from Bank Breezy near the end of our leadership Zoom. And that was our Breezy Connect Cash. It is something that we offer available to every one of our funding clients and our ERC clients. And I don't think a lot of us, and I'm included in this, I know I've got some clients that I haven't talked to about the Breezy Connect Cash, people that have gotten funded, and I've kind of let the funding team take it and run with it from there. So I need to do a better job of following up. But here's how the Breezy Connect Cash works, okay? Somebody gets funded or they do a signed deal with the ERC, they're eligible to sign up as a Breezy Connect Cash client. When they refer that Breezy Connect Cash link out to someone else, the client is going to come to you, to your webpage, and they are going to get your contact information. But the referrer, the business owner, let's say it's Joe's Automotive that became a Breezy Connect Cash customer. If Joe's Automotive forwarded them that link, then they are going to get a cut of the deal. They're going to get 1% of the ERC, and they're going to get 2% of the funding amount that they help bring on board by sending out that referral link. But in return, as you're looking at qualifying in the compensation plan, those customers that Joe's Automotive as a Breezy Connect Cash client, those customers become your frontline customers. So the first one they send you, that's going to help promote you to DAC 1. The second one they send you, if it's a qualifying client, puts you over the 2,000 in revenue, that's going to help promote you to DAC 2. Who told that client about DAC? Joe's Automotive, right? Joe's Automotive is a Breezy Connect client, but it comes to you and counts as your frontline customer, and you get credit for that sale. You earn most of the commission you're going to do a commission share with that Breezy Connect Cash client, but they're going to help you bring in those frontline clients that are going to count for qualifications to move you through the comp plan and pay you long-term in the compensation plan. So let's take a look at how this works. You refer out the business to Joe's Automotive. Joe's Automotive sends you a few clients, and those 3 clients that Joe's Automotive sends over all count as your personal referrals. Okay. Not only are they going to help you move through the comp plan, helping you get to DAC 1, DAC 2, DAC 4, it's also going to help you get as engaged and also amped up, right? Amped up is if you have a qualifying bonus client, then you're amped, and that gives you a 30-day window to earn extra money as you're amped up from 4% to 6%. Double amp go from 6 to 7%, triple amp go from 7 to 8%, right? So it's a really big deal. So would you rather be out here just telling about DAC on your own for your personal clients, or had you rather have a whole bunch of Bank Breezy Connect Cash customers out here that are helping connect the dots for you, right? Those Connect Cash customers can really help you out. So let's say you got 3 people on your front line. They're telling a few business owners about DAC and funding and ERC and all of that. And then those business owners, once they've gotten funded or the ERC, they too can sign up as a Connect Cash client. But every one of those, as long as there's not a DAC agent in between, none of your referral clients become an agent in between, you're the only DAC agent at the top of the heap there. So every one of the clients that they refer becomes your frontline customer. So these folks are telling a few and they tell a few, until you know it, you've got dozens of clients that are coming on board through that word of mouth, through the Breezy Connect Cash program. You didn't have to tell the customers yourself. You shared commissions with those business owners that were sharing on behalf of DAC. What was in it for them? They got some money. They didn't have to learn anything new. They just sent them your way. They got paid. You got paid. Now you have frontline customers that are helping you stay qualified in the compensation plan. So just wanted to touch on that because it's really important that we take the time to share about that lucrative program with our business owners out here today when they become clients. So I'm going to take us off of screen share and let's go to Q&A. Like I said, David had the first 30 minutes of today's leadership Zoom. He just did a lot of analogy, did a great analogy on today and the Emancipation Proclamation as to why Juneteenth is a federal holiday. He went into some great detail on that, shared some good stories and analogies as he always does. And then he got into business as he usually does. And we talked another 20 minutes or so on that. So I'm looking for my screen share and I can't get us off screen share here. Harlequin, give me a second. I can't find it. It'll come
Is
up.
it not, if you go down to where it shows security and participants and all that stuff, it's down on the bottom there.
I know, I can't get the whole screen back up. Let me see. There comes that window, I think. Yeah, it got minimized.
Gotcha.
There it is. It minimized and then moved over. I've got a widescreen monitor, so it was way over to the other side of my monitor. All right, so we're back up here. All right, guys, any questions? Raise your hand, do the reaction button there, and you can do a virtual hand raise. We'll field any questions that you have. I don't want to spend a lot of time tonight other than answering questions because we have so many new things that are ready to drop any day now. So really want to make sure that we're making good use of our time and going through those details when they come out live, because we need to be hitting the ground running. I mentioned last week, you know, why, if your name's not on the recruiting board or if you're not bringing in an agent or 2 a month, why not? Because DAC is going to become a household name, and I want as many of those people that are going to be joining DAC in your group, not somebody else's, because you didn't tell your friends and family about the DAC opportunity. It's going to be a very lucrative opportunity, and you've got first movers advantage on being able to share that out there. Okay. We see any hands up, Harlequin? Or any
No.
questions in the chat or any comments in the chat that we need to address?
I don't have any questions in my chat. You might want to check yours just to be sure, but nobody messaged me directly. And Ray now has her hand up.
All right, let's go to Ray. Hey, Ray, how are you tonight?
How you doing, Ellen? How you doing?
Good.
That's good. Well, I don't have a question. I know you mentioned something about a comment. I know you talked about, I think last week, about recruiting, and I was listening to everything you were saying. What do you recommend? Because I had someone actually contact me, but I don't know what happened. I tried to reach out to them, and they never called me back. And I have actually, believe it or not, I have, shared uh, the opportunity to like several people in my circle, but I shared it with a former coworker, just a few other people, but they just, I've even invited them to the business calls in the past. This was like last year, and so I mean, I'm not discouraged because my mindset is kind of like I do want to get people into me, but at the same time, I just don't want just anybody. I don't want to just do it for the sake of numbers. And and when you was mentioning that, I was like, "Dad, what am I doing?" But what I know you've been in it for a couple of years, and I know it took a minute before you got going with it. So what do you encourage or recommend? Because like I said, I mean, the person contacted me. What happened was I took one of the images from the back office, and I posted it on a laundromat community board, and the person contacted me, so I reached out to them twice, and they never called me back. I was like, okay. So I just moved on. I'm like, I'm not gonna, spend a whole lot of time on this one person because I even, I put the information out there, so I have my phone number and everything. If you want to call me and talk to me, that's fine. But I'm like you, and listening to everything for a while, it's like, I want people to also look at the link, watch the video, and look at it from their perspective, instead of asking a whole bunch of questions and a lot of information that's on the website. And then whatever they think they still don't understand, not that I didn't want to communicate, but I try to reach out to the person, but they never got back with me. So I just, moved on and say, okay, well, there'll be another opportunity. Somebody else will get in touch with me. But in the meantime, I'm gonna try to build what I can build for myself. So.
Exactly. So let me say this, you're not doing anything wrong. Okay. If you're sharing the website link, I would encourage, and don't know if you're doing a follow-up or not, and saying, hey, I just wanted to touch base and see if you were able to watch the video that I sent you on our website. Because sometimes people need that nudge, right? Because we get busy and we're going, no, I can't tell you how many times I've sent a link out and I reach back out to them and they're going, no, Ellen, I haven't seen it yet. I intend to do that. And just that little nudge is the best thing that you can do. But DAC is not for everybody. The first time I presented it to Harlequin, it took her about a year to come back around to say, okay, timing is right now. So it might not be a good fit for people, but it might not be that the timing is right for them to see the opportunity with DAC, because they've got to be open-minded and open to having something else on their plate. A lot of times people have to be totally dissatisfied with what's going on there in their life and willing to make a change or ready to make a change before they go, yeah, let me take a look at this and let me take a good, long, serious look at it, instead of just appeasing you by saying, sure, I'll take a look at it. And then they're flipping through the information or fast forwarding through the information, not taking it seriously. But one thing you mentioned, Ray, when I got started, which I just hit my 5-year anniversary with DAC, right? When I first got started, it took me a while to get my first client, but it did not take me a while to get my first recruit. In fact, the day that I decided I was going to do DAC, I invited a friend of mine who I had just got invited. He invited me to like his business page on Facebook. He sent me an invite to like a page, and I went and looked at the page. I never go just like a page without looking at it and making sure that it aligns with my values, right, before I click like. So I go look at the page and I'm going, oh man, he's doing B2B sales. He's in B2B, business to business services. So I liked the page, and then I went back and I responded to his message through Facebook Messenger, and I said, hey Glenn, I responded to your Facebook like request. I liked your page, and while I was there, I was checking it out. Looks like you guys are doing some similar activities to a new business that I'm taking a look at. It might be a good fit for you. It'll only take you a few minutes to check it out if you're open to taking a look. It may or may not be a good fit, right? And he responded back quickly and he said, sure, I'll check it out. So me just responding to his message and bringing the likeness together by me saying, you're in B2B, this is B2B, may or may not be a good fit, only take you a few minutes to check it out. He jumped on it. I sent him the partner page, very similar to what we have today. The color of the page has changed a little bit, the background, the images, and the video has been updated. It's certainly not the same video that we had 5 years ago, but he watched that, and 30 minutes later, he called me back and he said, man, I just got through watching that video, Ellen. He said, I've got some questions. And I said, okay, I'm just getting started. So let me get with my enroller and see what we can do to get questions answered. So I sent my enroller a message, and she said, oh, let me get my enroller involved. So I had 2 levels above me, my enroller and their enroller, because they had just gotten started too. So I had those 2 on the phone, and when we got that second level enroller that had been with the company for a couple of years, and she understood who I was through that explanation, because they said, hey, we've just brought on Ellen Winn. She's a business builder, blah, blah, blah. And then me bringing on another business builder, she said, let me see if I can get David Rutz on the phone. So sure enough, within a couple of hours, we were on a phone call with David Rutz. Okay. So he was answering all of the questions that my friend Glenn had about David Allen Capital and the funding. Now, you guys don't need David Rutz on the phone. I'm telling you a story from 5 years ago where DAC was really just starting to take off, and we did not have the tools. We did not have near what we have. We didn't have the services that we have today, because it was only funding back then, right? Mm-hmm. So they needed some confirmation from him, or he needed confirmation from David as to how that process worked and how we could offer it, and you know, what the rates were and how long DAC had been in business, because Glenn and I both had been a part of another company in previous years that wasn't around too long, right? And we know that new companies in this space don't always make it to second year, much less 5 or 7 or 8 years like DAC is now, right? Okay. So he needed some confirmation. So with my story there, Ray, what I want to have you and everybody else on here understand is use the tools. That's exactly what I did. And my recruiting training that's in the Super Saturday training there, where it's really as simple as asking a question. Hey, are you open to making money outside of what you're currently doing? Okay. You're letting them know, I'm not trying to get you to do something different than what you're doing. Are you open to making money outside of what you're currently doing? Extra income, right? And if they say, yeah, what you got? Say, well, it may or may not be a good fit, but it'll only take about 15 minutes to check it out. So you've done 3 things. You've asked, are they open? It'll only take about 15 minutes to see if it's a fit or not, and giving them the out by saying it may or may not be a good fit. If you'll do those things and lead into that and say, I'm going to send you a web link. There's a video on there from the founder of our company, and he explains the whole program. Now, you're going, okay, wait a minute, Ellen, the video is longer than 15 minutes. Yes, it is, okay? But most people in the first 15 minutes of seeing our business presentation and hearing David Rutz, his sincerity, the DAC story, and then talking about how our process and our products or services are unique in the marketplace and very needed in the marketplace, most people will be able to make a decision in the first 15 minutes whether they're opting out and turning the video off, or whether they're intrigued and they want to listen to what he has to say and listen to the full presentation. So when I say it'll only take you about 15 minutes to decide if this is a fit or not, that is a 100% truthful statement, no matter how long the video is, right? So those are the things that you want to do. That's what I have done for years in team building, and I never try to tell the story. And I appreciate that you said that you don't want to get into too much information or deal with people that have a bunch of questions. I'm always happy to answer questions, but I always go back to them and I say, well, tell me what you've seen. Did you watch the presentation from our company founder? Well, no, I watched the little 3-minute video, but I didn't see the longer one. Okay, great. All of your questions, or most of your questions that you're wanting to ask me right now, are covered in that video. So I want you to go back and watch the video so that you're getting it direct from the horse's mouth, and it's all in a storyline that's going to make sense along with the visuals that he shows in the presentation, rather than me kind of do hit or miss and give you bits and pieces of the information. I'd rather you get 100% of the correct information. If you'll always defer people back to that, let the video tell the story for you. You're teaching that brand new person that's coming on board or thinking about coming on board, you're teaching them how to do the business from that very first introduction by showing them that it's a tool-oriented culture, that you want them to go watch the video, and then they go, okay, they go watch the video and they're going, okay, I'm in. And now all they have to do is click join now, fill out the form, have a few questions about that form, and now they're in the system. You're welcoming them by saying, hey, I see that you've signed up. That's great. Make sure you look out for the welcome email from David Allen Capital. And also our senior team leader, Ellen Winn, is going to be sending you a welcome to our DAC family. Make sure you pay attention to what Ellen sends you, because she sends additional layers of training on top of what the corporate training is, and you'll want to stay plugged into what she has going on. So back to what I was saying about how my enroller and their enroller ended up getting David Rutz on the phone. You guys have the same ability, just doesn't have to be David Rutz, okay? You've got an enroller and you've got an upline team member that is helping build a team. It may be me, it may be Harlequin, or it may be someone else in your organization there that's actively involved and actively plugged in. Maybe getting them on the phone is that first line of support to answer questions. But whoever it is that you're bringing in, you want to make sure that you edify them. And by edification, you're building up the person that you're going to put on the line, right? Let me say, if I were going to edify Harlequin, right? If I were going to put somebody on the line with Harlequin that's looking at the business, I'm going to say, look, I've been working with this lady. Her name is Harlequin Murray. She knows her stuff inside and out. She's been agent of the month several times with David Allen Capital. She's always on the Zooms. She always has comments and input from the Zoom. She's highly respected by the corporate team, and I can't think of anybody better to answer your questions. So I'm going to get Harlequin on the line, and I'm just going to sit back and let you guys chat, right? That would be my edifying Harlequin, building her up to my prospect. And then once I make the introduction, I'll bring them in and I'll say, hey, Harlequin, I've got Ray on the line. Ray just got through watching the business presentation on the partner page and has a few questions. You know, I'm kind of new here. I don't want to give her the wrong information, but I really told her your story and your success here with DAC and wanted to introduce you. So I'm going to sit back and let you talk. So then I've done the connection. I've got you two on the phone, and then Harlequin's going to take the call from there, right? That's how the edification works, and how three-weighing someone else in, an expert, doesn't have to be David Rutz, an expert that is going to be able to answer questions for the prospect and put their mind at rest that there's a team system here, that They don't have to be the expert. If they get started in the business, they're not going to have to know everything because there's somebody else in the organization that can help. So if you're not doing three-way calls, not you, Ray, specifically, but all of you listening, if you're not doing three-way calls and using the power of edification to bring your upline team leader or someone more experienced that you onto a call with either a prospect or an agent or a prospective client and helping get the right answers out to the client, the right information there, you're missing the boat on the power of building this organization. It's really key to do three-way calls. And the last piece of that is if you don't know how to do a three-way call, you need to, whatever device you have, whatever phone you have, you need to go to Google and Google the words, how to do a three-way call on a Samsung Note, right? Whatever your phone is, then Google it, and there'll be step-by-step instructions on how to make that connection and make it work. Okay. Thanks for that question, and sorry for the long explanation there, but hopefully that brought all of you guys back around to the power of doing three-way calls and using edification in the process of getting somebody in front of the information.
Thank you.
You bet. Anything else?
That's pretty much it. You answered my question. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You bet. I appreciate the question. I see Jean-Claude has a hand up. Let me ask to unmute. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Awesome.
And yes, I'm doing great. My question is on the three line or two lines edification. The one who brought me to business is no more interested in doing it. And the one before him is always busy. I never got him on the phone. And I'm really having a problem to bring someone else who can help me with the three-way or two-way edification.
All right. Are you in my organization? Are you getting my emails?
I'm in your organization under Mike Carter.
Okay. If there's no one above you, I tell you what, do this. Send me an email to workwithellen@gmail.com. Send me an email and say, you know, let me take a look at your upline lineage there. Again, it may be me. Okay. It may be me. And I'm busy, but if I know someone is making calls with clients and I'm anticipating that, I will definitely make time to do those calls with you. If there's someone in between us that's working, then they may be your best and immediate point of contact. But everybody that's on this Zoom tonight is, unless you're a guest outside the organization, is somewhere in my group, and I'm available. If any of you have ever called or texted me and you've got me, a lot of times I'll answer the phone and somebody will say, wow, thank you for taking my call. That's what I do. That's how I build a team, right? Is to be available and to interact with people in the organization. So,
and I recognize it. I know that I received your email when I was recruited, saying that I was in your team.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, so just send me an email and say, hey, and it also, please include your agent ID number so I don't have to try to look you up. You know your ID number?
I have the link. I don't know if on that link I can see the ID.
Yeah, at the end of the link, it'll have your ID number. That way I can look you up in the system and track back up to see where you are in the organization. But I'll get you connected, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for the question. Thank you very much. All right, anybody else before we wrap up? Harlequin, I have a birthday wish to you from Dr. Yvonne Bentley, who was referred by Linda Howe or Linda Huff. Wishing you a happy birthday. That was a direct message in the chat.
Thank you. Yeah.
Right.
And just a reminder for everybody that on Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time, Wade is going to do some additional training on rates. And, you know, where do the rates come from? How are they calculated? Why is it so much more than the bank? That type of stuff. So he's got some really
that
good
spread is getting narrower.
Yeah, it is. I actually had I was at dinner with somebody who works for a bank, and we were talking about rates and what the rates are. So
thank you for a reminder.
I had confirmed with her, I said, yeah, I just read an article that the national average for bank, for a business owner to get a loan, the acceptance rate or offer rate that, the banks are giving it, it's under 14%. So less than 14% of the business owners that are applying for funding or applying for a loan from a bank are getting an offer.
Wow. Yeah. I remember you saying that. I think you said that on one of the
I did, yeah.
DAC Zoom. So that means that 86%, not 80, but right now with the times as they are, 86%, excuse me, 86% of business owners that need funding and are trying to get funding cannot get approved at their bank. Come on now, is there a need for David Allen Capital or what?
Yeah.
Most definitely. Yep. So good stuff. Good stuff. And thank you for the reminder. And if you guys are not on the notifications for DAC YouTube, they uploaded the video from last week. So now you've got week 1, week 2 on the YouTube channel, the DAC Agent Zooms available. So we're going into week 3 this coming Wednesday. Excellent. Okay. Anybody else before we wrap up? Questions, comments? Last chance. Going. Okay, let's let Harlequin get back to celebrating her birthday some more. And let's get our game plans going for this week so that we can really maximize our contact list for new agents and new reach outs to clients to get new clients on board. Okay. All right, everybody. Thank y'all. Appreciate you all. Yes.
Win-win.
Yeah, you got it. Win-win with Ellen Winn. Thank you, James. Have a good night. God bless you all. Take care.